Dirt is presented to you by Broadlink. Serious bandwidth for serious business. Brother, print, copy, scan, fax, label, and so much more. Driven by the all-new Ford Ranger. Ford, go further. And KTM, ready to race. On this week's episode, we look back at the quads category from the Winterton 400, as well as highlights from the tough one held in the United Kingdom. The second round of the National Off-Road Championship was held in the diamond mining area of Windsorton in the Northern Cape. An even playing field for this round, as nobody had any idea of the terrain that lay ahead.
It looks quite dry. I love the faster flat-outs. Done some work to the LTR, so let's see what happens there.
I'm a bit nervous going into today. Yeah, you don't know what to expect. Everyone's saying it's fast, slow, rocky mountains. So I think it's a bit of everything.
Looking forward to it. So I think the dusk is going to be a lot. I think I'm going to struggle in the dust, but in the tight sections I will maybe catch up to the guys.
It's exciting, new track, new area. We've never been here before. We don't know what to expect, so it's going to be exciting.
Look, the main goal is not to get hurt. Obviously, we're getting into winter season now, so it's going to be dusty today. Just keep a nice dust cap, keep yourself constant throughout the race, and try and win the overall championship.
Obviously, we want to back up on the number one. We worked as hard as we can, and yeah, we're looking forward to a long day today.
Fitness always counts, so I believe the better prepared you are and the time you put in, you'll reap the result.
This is hard-packed terrain mostly. In this area, there's a lot of, we call it pebbles, all over the show. You can't believe how many pebbles it is. And it's not rocky. We got certain sections, but it's very short, which is rocky, but it's well marked as well. So, yeah, you can't say it's really rocky. The guy's going to race flat out here.
Sorry for those guys. I wouldn't do it, but then I'm too old for this game, I guess. It is fairly flat, a lot of pebble. We're close to the Vaal River, and so one can expect that you will have some rocky areas and pebbles, and a few, areas or bits where you will actually have sand, quite sandy areas. But it is an absolutely beautiful, beautiful environment, and something to actually definitely try and come and experience. We are a very good destination because of the topography of the Northern Cape for certain extreme sports and naturally our extreme culture and our extreme nature. And we combine that and actually say this is our branding pillar, our brand pillars. This is really what we're about. This is what makes us different. This is what makes us unique. So we offer extreme sports in this province.
It was round one winner Brian Baragwanath who led the pack out of the starting gates, followed 15 seconds later by current champion Yuri Meyer. Ride SA was out in full swing and creating awareness about rhino poaching in South Africa. And it was their top rider, Brian Baragwanath, who held an early lead whilst Yuri Meyer lay second and not far behind, Jaco Molle in third. David Hollis was once again on form as he lay fourth overall in the early stages. However, he almost took the wrong fork. There has been a new turn of speed in 2014 coming out of Hannes Simon, and he led the Q2 class in the early stages of the race, closely followed by Andre Duplessis. After a lot of training coming into the season, Justin Roberts held a good position in the Q2 class, as well as a 7th place in the overall race, with the first of the seniors, Stuart Freeman, right behind him. Franco Annandale showed his great form of late and put the Suzuki into the top 10 from the get-go. Having a few reliability problems of late has not put Eric Williams in the perfect situation, but as we've seen in the past, he will fight to the bitter end. After a disappointing first round, Damien Lee came into round 2 hoping for a good result, whilst Bernie Besto was making his way through the field on his Century Civic Suzuki. The first of the ladies to come into sight was Liesl Barnard aboard the huge Can-Am, showing that she can race right in the fight with the men. Leading the high school class was Ramon Lopez, but that didn't last long as Vilmarie Moller, sister to Jaco Moller, came through to take the lead, while Chaudry Monk was in the hunt for the ladies class.
What you actually find when this kind of thing happens, and that's our hope, that whenever we actually offer and take on these events, that people will come with their families, that it's not only the participants that's going to come, they're going to bring their families, they're going to bring their friends, and they're going to tell them about it. They're going to come and they will experience it. So when that happens, we fill up the hotel rooms and the guest houses. People come in and they buy things from the local shops. So that actually helps to build and sustain the communities of those areas.
Going into lap 2 of 6, the riders had pretty much held their positions as the passing here was very difficult due to all of the dust, with Brian Baragwanath still leading and pulling away at the front. Towards the end of the first half of the race, Gareth Emmett had pushed hard enough to find himself just outside the top 10, whilst a new name to the top, Andre Park, was having the ride of his life.
As a privateer, it costs a bit of money, but luckily it's quite close to where we stay, so it's worth it.
That's where I started. So yeah, it's actually a lot of a difference. I mean, because we are privileged to do it as a work, so that's what we do for a living. And the privateer guy is only actually a more weekend warrior guy. So yeah, the setup and the time we get on the bike, and to set up the bike and the work we can do on the bike is just plenty more time than a privateer.
Because of the fact that there's a lot of privateers and new people that start racing nowadays, we made a lot of effort to make the track raceable for everybody. That's why we made the decision to go bigger with the Winsterton 400 days, to get more coverage even for the back markers.
very good support team. My mom, my dad, and my boyfriend, they're always helping me. And you know, working is good, so good old day job pays for everything. I think most of the people that are here race like that, and we just here to have fun, really enjoy the race.
Quad riding, it's something that I enjoy instead of working all the time. Just enjoy doing it, like a hobby for me. Passion's in the blood.
Every race, yes, definitely my equipment failing a little bit on me on the past couple of races. But I think for this race, we've really, you know, we've done our homework and that, so hopefully it's a good one, this one.
You know, obviously being a factory rider, there's a lot more pressure on you because you've got amazing sponsors behind you that want the results. And, you know, as far as motivation and passion goes, it's the same for factory rider or privateer. I think, in fact, the privateer's got more passion and more drive because he obviously wants to get further in his career.
I think what's tough for privateer is you always need a lot of outside support. You need a lot of support from your families, you need a lot of support from all over, and it's all about preparation at the end of the day. Getting to the race is 50% done. You know, the race is the other half.
In KTM news this week, Brett Cummings goes on to win the inaugural Namakwa African Rally. Wade Young continues his dominant form going into 2014 and is triumphant at the inaugural Red Bull Braveman event. And David Knight wins the tough one with Johnny Walker and Alfredo Gomez rounding off the podium. We pick up on action from that later in the show.
I'm just trying to keep it all together, concentrate nice and hard, and just keep it smooth because I'm in a good position now. I'm third, and I just want to. I'm not particularly going to go chase Brian and Yuri now. I just want to keep it in third and keep it smooth and see the end of the day.
What's it been like out there, Honest?
It's lucky, bro. Honestly, nice and fast the way off-road should be.
It's nice. My bike's just overheating. I don't know what's happening. It just keeps blowing fuses. So every time I get some nice speed, I gotta take it slow and check it out.
With only 180 kilometers to go, the dice was on at the front between Barrett Gwanath and Yuri Meyer, and some local spectators were having just as much fun as the guys out front. Jaco Moller still held third over David Hollis, but Hollis was closing the gap fast. Hannah Simon still held the Q2 class lead with Stuart Freeman leading the seniors and mixing it with the younger pro riders. Disaster for Jaco Moller as he was forced to retire due to mechanical issues. This played into the hands of David Hollis as he now moved up into a podium position.
Trying, but yeah, the young oaks are coming through. And when I say young oaks, it sounds strange, but yeah, in our class there's a age difference of about 20 years, so from the youngest to the oldest. But hey, it's all fun, and we're just glad and happy to be in the Northern Cape. Looks awesome.
Yuri Meyer Sr. went on to win the Masters class with George Twicher second and Tony DeSantos from Factory Racing rounding off the podium. Thiessen's Generators Racing Yamaha into fourth on the day. In the ladies category, it was Liesl Barnard who won the race, with Chaudry Monk having a fantastic day, finishing second, whilst Vilmarie Moller failed to finish the ladies' race, but did, however, win the high school class, which is raced over fewer laps. seniors race, there was no stopping Stuart Freeman as he dominated from start to finish and ended in the top 5 of the race overall. In second place, it was Russell Ferreira on board the Honda, who also went on to finish 8th overall in the top results. An amazing feat by both of our top senior riders. But it wasn't over yet, as another senior rider made it into the top 10 overall and 3rd in class. A great ride from Willy Roos. He was followed by 4th place Paul dos Santos, one of the most consistent riders in the series. Another Team Ride SA competitor, Ted Barbier, rounded off the top 5. Looking at the results for these categories, after the Winterton 400 National Off-Road in the Masters, Meyer ahead of Twicher and dos Santos, seniors, Freeman, Ferreira and Roos. Going into the final lap saw Brian Baragwanath pull the pin to extend the lead off the front. But positions had changed up drastically as Yuri Meyer had also been forced to retire with mechanical problems. This then had Hannah Simon and David Hollis in a huge battle with only seconds separating them. Andre Duplessis was fortunate with the retirements ahead of him, but it's all about consistency in this game, and he finished the day in 4th place. It was a dominant race for Brian Baragwanath as he led from start to finish to claim his 2nd victory of the 2014 season. The dice for second came down to split seconds as Hannah Simon beat out David Hollis by less than half a second. What a race to the end. Looking at the overall results then coming out of the Winterton 400 National Off-Road, Baragwanath miles ahead, but the dice was Simon Hollis and Duplessis consistent in his 4th place. Freeman with a 5th ahead of Bester, Park Ferreira, Roos and dos Santos rounding out the top 10.
It was a fantastic race. It was real off-road racing style. I think they could have hosted a car race here. It was really, really nice, really fun on the quads. Absolutely like rally style, throwing the bike around all day. Really safe, really, really fun riding.
Yuri Meyer unfortunately didn't finish the race due to his bike problems. That steered you well for the rest of the season though.
It's really unfortunate. I mean, I've been in that position as well, and it's not nice. I'd never wish it upon him, but let's hope he comes back with a strong one next one. And we had a great race today. Yuri was pushing me. I think we had a good race going on today. It would have been interesting at the end. But other than that, it was fantastic.
Look, it was an awesome day out there. I just want to thank the organisers. Awesome route. The marking was spot on. You could really follow the markers. All the cautions were marked. So for me, awesome day in the seat.
Well, now the pressure's on after these good results too. And I'm up with the front guys. And yeah, I'm just going to have to work at it and see if I can run with them at the next race.
Looking at this week's Brother calendar of events, on the 31st of May to round out the month, regional cross-country racing from KwaZulu-Natal. On the same weekend, a GOC off-road race in De Wilt in Gauteng. Moordrift in the Northern Province opens up the account for the 7th of June for round 3 of the EWXC series. A new venue greeted competitors and spectators alike for the 2014 running of the Tough One in Great Britain as part of the Hard Enduro series. Hoxton Park, famous for its motocross rounds of the MXGP and British Motocross Championship, would play host to the tough one in 2014. One name has been synonymous with the running of this event so far, and it's David Knight, who is here to claim yet another victory, but competition could not be tougher for the 2014 event. The young upstart Johnny Walker, as well as reigning hard enduro champion overall, Jarvis, were there to make life very, very hard. The staggered Le Mans gate made sure that the top names were at the front of the pile, and it was Johnny Walker and the Knighter that showed a clean pair of heels to the rest of the field on the early lap. Walker did his utmost to stretch his legs away from the rest of the field, knowing all the while that there would be one man hunting him down throughout the event. Hurried and almost frantic riding style of Walker, matched by the smooth fluidity of Knight. Meanwhile, behind them in third place, Alfredo Gomez was doing all the good work and having a lonely ride in third to keep his Husqvarna ahead of the rest of the field. Knight and the Sherco had finally hit the front. The man that for so many years has dominated this event aboard orange and red machinery, now on the Sherco and looking to get another #1 plate on that bike, making his way through the slower traffic and just eyeing up the finish line as Gomez was solid in third place. Walker looked like he was enjoying himself, but the win was definitely gone as the big Manc man crossed the line once again to claim this event as his own in 2014. Second place and another 2 spot for Johnny Walker, and happy to share the podium with the Knighter. The third step on the podium would be Alfredo Gomez, rounding out the top 3 and beating out the #1 ranked rider on the day and his teammate on the Husqvarna team, Jarvis. Kings of Dirt was presented to you by Broadlink, serious bandwidth for serious business. Brother, print, copy, scan, fax, label, and so much more. Driven by the all-new Ford Ranger. Ford, go further. And KTM, ready to race.